The information provided in this presentation is for educational purpose only. Participants shall have to consult the doctors for their personal health reasons. Here comes my guru, Dr. V.S. Reddy sir. He is a successful homeopathic physician since 30 years and been treating the patients along the globe. He is a nature lover and an organic farmer.
Namaste. This is Dr. V.S. Reddy. I would like to share my journey and experiences in treating bones and injuries naturally. In my practice of homeopathy, I have also profound belief in the body natural healing process. In my early practice, in the year 1994, almost all 30 years back, I personally exposed to severe bones on my face and thoracic region. All my well-wishers insisted me to consult an allopathy doctor to come out from the dangerous situation. But I simply smiled. I didn't approach anyone, not used chemicals or ointments. I treated myself using only plain water for cleaning and allowed my body's natural mechanism to take over. Remarkably, I was completely healed within 7 days. These experiences shaped me approach to patient's care. I began applying the same technique to my patients, avoiding chemicals, ointment, and pills. I used plain water to clean the wounds, trusting my body's innate ability to heal itself. The results were consistent and impressive. Most of patients too recovered within 1 to 2 weeks or maximum 3 weeks. My philosophy is very simple. I allowed the body to expel all unnecessary material naturally and let the microsurgeons underneath the skin do their work. I compare this process to peeling of outer layer of potato. When it's half boiled, the layer sticks, but when fully boiled, it peels off effortlessly. Similarly, when the skin is given time and support, the healing process becomes smooth and natural. In the past 5 years, I have come to understand and appreciate Dr. Hammer's theory, particularly fourth biological law, which explain how microbial activity is a crucial part of healing process. This has further validated my method and deepened my trust in the nature ability to heal. Since then, in each and every case, I strictly follow Dr. Hammer theory to know psyche behind soma and microbes activity in healing process. For over 30 years, I have created natures for its remarkable healing power. My experiences have taught me that when we respect and support the body's natural process, the results are profound. I hope this inspires you to explore and trust the incredible healing potential of nature. Now, I would like to introduce my junior Dr. Shauri. She will share some fascinating clinical cases of bones, wounds, and injuries that we have treated using natural methods, sometimes along with single dose of homeopathic medicine, and observe the remarkable healing process. Dr. Shauri will also delve into the incredible aspects of the Dr. Hammer's theory, particularly his explanations of how microbes play a vital role in the healing process. Her presentation will show you the practical application of those concepts and how they align with our nature philosophy of trusting the body's natural ability.
So now it might be clear that the topic is approach to the healing of burns, wounds, and injuries through the fourth biological law principles of German New Medicine. Myself, Dr. Shauri Venkateshwarlu. I have been studied my PHMS under Barkatullah University, Madhya Pradesh, and I am doing as assistant doctor under Dr. V.S. Reddy sir, Hanamgunda, Varangal. And I have been learning the GNM principles and homeopathic principles since 5 years. I would like to introduce a wonderful topic of healing burns, wounds, and injuries very naturally with a single dose of homeopathic medicine. I will give you the wonderful examples. There is a beautiful science behind natural healing. I'll make you understand Dr. Hammer's fourth biological law principles, and also there are many methods to promote natural healing. I will give you the examples of 4 to 5 patients who have been treated at our clinic with a single dose of homeopathic remedy and also the counseling part of Dr. Hammer's statements. There are a lot of benefits with the natural healing instead of rushing to the surgical processes or other ointments application or chemical applications. I'll also give you the examples of precautions and also the recommendations and give you the last summary and conclusion of how the healing process takes place very naturally in our body with the innate abilities. Now you have to know what is an injury. Injury is a damage to the body that can be caused by any external force such as an accident or a fall or a hit. There are a lot of types of injuries. Now here I would like to share a few types of injuries and their causes. Type 1 wounds like cuts, scrapes and scratches and punctured wounds and bruises that can result from falling or hitting a hard surface. Sprains. These can be result from fall that tears or stretches the ligaments and also the skin. And types of burns. It can be caused by exposure to heat, caustic chemicals, radiation or electricity. Traumatic injuries that can be the result of violent accidents such as motor vehicle accidents, construction site falls or contact sports injuries. Soft tissue injuries. This can include sprains, strains, tears, bruises, tendonitis, and whiplash. And also, we can include the mental injuries, also known as psychological and psychiatric injuries. These conditions cause abnormal thoughts, feelings, and behaviors. Here, doctor explains what it is as a conflict and conflict active phase and schizophrenic constellations. All these are belonging to the mental injuries where the Dirk Hammer syndrome or Dirk Hammer shock have been started. My case number one. I would like to honor Dr. V.S. Reddy sir as a remarkable mentor. Early in his practice, Dr. V.S. Reddy sir experienced burns to his face and thoracic region due to the pressure cooker blast. Despite the injury, he continued to treat patients without closing his clinic. I was surprised to hear these things from the old patients. They recall Dr. V.S. Reddy sir treating them while sitting in the dark. He refused to stop his practice, demonstrates extraordinary dedication and compassion. He chose not to undergo other therapies. His belief is a healer must embody and practice the principles of healing they advocate. He relied on the natural healing process for his burns and surprised everyone by recovering completely within a week. You can observe the pictures from number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. And this is the seventh picture. He have completely healed within a week. His inspiring story serves for the perseverance and faith in healing process. And it also reflects the true spirit of a dedicated healer. He has unwavering commitment to his patients and the profession. So here I would like to introduce the second case. The case of a 55-year-old woman, Archana, who displayed an incredible resilience and faith in healing under Dr. V.S. Reddy sir's treatment. Archana suffered accidental burns from the camphor on her face and abdomen and breast. The burns were so severe and painful, which required a dedicated care and patience. Archana ma'am immediately sought Dr. V.S. Reddy sir's expertise and placed unwavering trust in his natural healing methods. Her confidence in V.S. Reddy sir's approach played a very vital role in her recovery journey. You can see the stages of healing. This was the first picture of her arrival to the clinic where she had faced a lot of pain with a severe oozing and also the desquamitation. Present images show the progressive healing of burns, highlighting the effectiveness of natural recovery methods. Despite enduring the intense pain, Archana ma'am remained determined, tolerating the discomfort and promise of long-term healing. Her story is a testament to powerful of patience, faith, and also the natural healing. Archana ma'am's burns healed completely, leaving a positive outcome that validates the treatment's success. Her journey inspires us to believe in the body's natural ability to heal when guided by the expert's care. Here you can see the importance of trust, perseverance, and natural healing methods in overcoming the challenges. You can observe the pictures keenly. There is a certain intensity of burns, and also by the stages of increasing, you can see the desquamation and also the oozing. The second stage is oozing. All the material which has been accumulated at the site of burns have been oozing out, and slowly it gets dried up. And then the overcover of the burn area is removed and peeled off effortlessly. And this is how she has been cured completely. I would like to give you a brief discussion about burns and degree of burns. You can observe the natural and normal healthy skin, which have a contents of epidermis, dermis, hypodermis, muscles, and bone. There are four type of burns or four degrees of burns. First degree of burns, which involves only the surface of the epidermis, and only the surface of epidermis is affected. It is a little painful but do not contain any blister or any scar. But the second degree of burns, which will be phased through the hot oil or hot water, there will be a formation of a blister, and also a little deeper injury is caused. When there is a superficial partial thickness of burns, it do not require any surgery, but the scar may be a little painful, and there are blisters and blisters weeping. And the third degree of burns, which is a little dry and also intensity to light to touch and pinprick. Small areas will heal with a substantial scar or contracture but heals by itself. Burns involve also the layers of skin a little deeper. And the fourth degree of burns. These burns extend to the muscle or bone. It is a higher degree of burn which will be a little more painful, and the patient cannot be tolerable easily. There is a categorization of zones around the burns, which are known as zone of coagulation, zone of stasis, and zone of hyperemia. The belief is that this will be the irreversible process of healing of the body after the burns. But you can observe in the case of Archana ma'am that there is a healing and it is completely healed throughout the 14 days. And now I'm presenting you the case of a 20-year-old girl, Ayman, who suffered injuries from road traffic accident and found hope through Dr. V.S. Reddy's treatment. The girl was hit by a bike, resulting in abrasions and an injury. She was rushed to Dr. V.S. Reddy's clinic in a state of panic and fear. The girl's family have a long-term believers in Dr. V.S. Reddy's homeopathic practice and trusted his expertise for her recovery. Despite being advised by the plastic surgery, they chose Dr. V.S. Reddy's natural treatment methods. The girl's fear was gradually replaced with the confidence, and she received compassionate care from Dr. V.S. Reddy's. He has focused on the holistic healing and comfort. The injuries include eye with a swelling and which completely healed. The family's faith in Dr. V.S. Reddy sir's treatment was affirmed and avoided the need of surgical intervention. You can see the highlights of the girl's recovery as a testament to effectiveness of homeopathic natural healing and also the counseling of German new medicine therapy.
कैसा लग रहा है अब?
पहले से ओके है सर।
अच्छा, नॉर्मल स्किन आ गया ना? थोड़े भी दबा नहीं होगा, वाइट दिख रहे, वो भी नॉर्मल हो जाते। और आंख आंख डरा है ना, आंख के लिए
हाँ सर।
మంచిగా అయిపోయిందా?
हाँ
అయిపోయింది. భయపెట్టింది డాక్టర్ ప్లాస్టిక్ సర్జరీ చేయాలని.
हाँ
ఓకే.
So now you can have seen that the miraculous process of healing in Iman's skin. So this is first how she have admitted with the aberrations on her skin, and there is a swelling around the eye, and this is the scaling and peeling off the dried material, and this is completely the normal skin which she have attained throughout a month or 2 months. A simple information about wounds and its types. What is an wound?
A wound is an injury that breaks the skin or bodily tissue. Wounds can be categorized in several factors. Open versus closed. Open wound, which is like exposed to the environment through the skin, and the closed wound is with the closed skin. Inside the skin, there is a wound that is known as a closed wound. And acute and versus the chronic wounds. Surgical versus non-surgical wounds. Surgical wounds are the scars or wounds that are reopened after the surgery treatment to the patients, which are like complicated things when you go to the surgeries unnecessarily. Other type of wounds include scrapes, cuts, tears, bruises, pressure ulcers. The scrapes or the injuries caused either hard or rough surfaces that cause the skin to bleed or ooze. What are the cuts? There are clean cuts and clear cuts, which which can be done by blades, sharp objects like knives, etc. There can be a clean edges that can affect the deep tissue. What are the tears? Tears or the injuries with jig-jagged edges that can affect the deeper tissues. The bruises. This is caused by the trauma that damages the small blood vessels beneath the skin when you fall or hit to the rough surface. Then you can caused by the bruises. What are the pressure ulcers? Pressure ulcers are also known as a bed sores. These are caused by the prolonged pressure on the area of skin. You can observe these pressure ulcers in the bedridden patients. They are continuously only sleeping on the beds. Then you can observe the pressure ulcers at the back skin. Wounds can be caused by the variety of factors like violence, impaired circulation, and medical illness. You can see the clear pictures of amputation, avulsion, crush injury, puncture wounds, abrasion wounds, and the laceration wounds. These are other types of wounds like cut, stabs, stab and cut, taunts, bitten and chopped, crush wounds, hurt wounds, and firearms, scalpel wounds, surgery wounds, and the poison wounds. So here you have seen the clear variation between the other therapies and our treatment. The other therapies will have the disinfectants application and also antibiotic ointments application and dressings and sterile bandages. Their wound management is different and our wound management is different. You have to understand the importance of approaching the treatment of burns with the healing concept of nature. We advise the patients to keep the wound open and the wound should be exposed to the air to have breathed properly. Wound should not be closed or by using the dressing materials because there is a thin fresh layer formed during the time of healing which is like so much thin than the onion peel that is removed off by the dressing material or the sterile bandage. So the healing is delayed and it takes a lot of time. The wound should be kept in contact with the five elements of the nature, which creates healing enough quickly by creating the milieu for the commensal bacteria. We suggest to wash the wound with just plain or domestic water. Wound is simply and softly tapped with a clean cloth or a banyan cloth just to absorb the oozing material. And the wound after cleaning should be fanned, which allows the serum to dry and creates a natural barrier. My sir says to patients that skin is like a compound wall and house is our important organs. You have to be focused on the important organs which works very properly, but not on the skin which is already damaged or which is going to be damaged. We suggest patients not to use disinfectants or bacteria killing objects like antibiotics, and you should allow the nature has a healing process of decomposing the wasting material. And the wonderful and best part of the counseling of the patient is to calm down and bring them out from the terrifying incident happened, giving them the examples at best to make them strong enough to give power to body to heal by itself. How do Dr. V.S. Reddy sir give counseling for the patients? Sir is an organic farmer and have cattle and domestic dogs in their farming. He is a good observer of nature and natural process and healing process how dogs and cattle give to themselves without any medications or without any ointments. When patients say about the hygienic area and about the antibiotics and disinfectants or chemicals of cleaning the house. Sir will give the examples of people who are living on the roads and also people who are living in the bus stands and railway stations, etc. Here you can observe the pic of people sitting, little kids sitting in the area of dust. They are born and brought up in the unhygienic areas only, but they are not going to die within 2 or 3 days. They will raise up and their immune system will be very strong enough to fight the materials or harmful things which are observing in that areas. Body is innately adjustable to the environment where we are living, whether it is a cold area or a hot area or a hygienic place or unhygienic place. Body has its natural healing mechanism in its body. What he observed in the cattle or dogs is wound licking in the animals for healing. Why do dogs or cattle lick their wounds instinctively? Because they are promoting the healing by the nature process which is innately produced in the body. Animals lick their wounds instinctively to promote healing. What are the benefits of licking of wounds by the animals? Because it relieves the pain by licking blocks pain signals and natural cleansing. There is a healing protein present in the saliva of human or animals which is known as histatin. It has the properties of healing naturally. What do the commensal bacteria present in the saliva do? They activate the immune cells like neutrophils, etc. at the wound site. Bacteria influence the keratinocyte growth, which is critical for the skin regeneration process. They also promote the blood vessel development for improving the tissue repair. Few helpful bacteria secrete the molecules directly aid tissue repair and the healing. Natural healing mechanisms in body forms the scabs, epithelialization of the skin regrowth, and collagen production of the strength and structure. What are the benefits of bacteria which live on the body without harming us? They are the part of symbiotic relationship with the host, stimulating the host's immune system and producing the metabolites that give them survival advantage and provide the host with the essential nutrients. Sir gives the example of the great Sita Mata who had the Agni Pariksha and known as the Klesh Nashana Kriya. He counsels the patient that burning is not going to disturb their life in any way, but instead make them strong and go through the successful life and the brave pathways in their lifetime. So, how do you understand the miraculous process of healing in the human body created by nature? There are four stages which are known as homeostasis, inflammation, proliferation, and regeneration. You can clearly observe the layers of the skin and also the process which is happening within the 24 hours, within 3 days, and within 8 days of the injury. So, how the stages of natural healing occurs? The hemostasis or the immediate response after the injury taken place. There is a vasoconstriction which helps in reduces the blood loss and the platelets that are activated in the blood to form a fibrin clot the area of the injury and the coagulation cascade initiates the repair. Within 24 hours to 2 days, there is an inflammation process known as a vasodilation, increasing the blood flow at the wound area. The neutrophils, monocytes, and the macrophages, which are known as collectively white blood cells, cleanse the wound of the infection and debris. The cytokinins and the growth factors, which are known as neurotransmitters, recruit the fibroblasts and the epithelial cells. The third stage, known as a proliferation stage, it takes time to days to weeks. The fibroblast synthesizes the collagen for the tissue repair. The angiogenesis restores the blood supply and the epithelialization covers the wound with a new skin formation. Where sir compared with the onion peel. At this stage, you are dressing the wound repeatedly and the epithelialization, new skin is removed with the bandage healing. Interruption to the natural process. And there is a granulation tissue and wound contraction which minimizes the wound area gradually. And the last fourth stage is known as maturation stage which takes weeks or a little bit of month. Collagen reorganizes for the tensile strength to recover the skin like before. There are a formation of scar or mature over time, but that is not necessary according to the burns or type of injury. You can have scars or without with no deep injury, there is no formation of scar over the time. There is a full restoration of skin function and also appearance. You can see the different type of cells here, the red blood cells, platelets, and the fibrin fiber, neutrophils, macrophages, T cells, and fibroblasts, myofibroblasts, hyaluronic acid, glycans, and the collagens, which acts upon the skin layers of epidermis, dermis, and hypodermis.
Dr. Hammer strongly stated in the fourth biological law that microbes do not cause diseases, and also diseases are not contagious. Instead, microbes play a very vital role in the healing phases of every disease.
People are in a panic state, maybe due to the media or also advertisements about the germs. They literally feel microbes cause death. People have fear about bacteria, germs, etc., and they used to continuously take antibiotics, disinfectants, and use chemicals to kill the bacteria, kill the germs in their house and surrounding places. People are so much obsessed about the germs and not able to touch wherever they can place a hand or place a legs. They have the imagination of entering of the disease immediately from one person to another person. Dr. Hammer have said that microbes doesn't cause diseases but play instead vital role. What does it mean? Microbes have a symbiotic relationship with the host. They provide certain chemicals or nutrients which are required to the human body and also take the nutrition from the human body for their survival. So this is a symbiotic relationship which helps mutually. Diseases are always self-limited. They are not transmitted from one person to another person. How Dr. Hammer introduced the bacteria or fungi or virus as he told the microbes as a microsurgeons. What fourth biological law is saying us? For about 2.5 billion years ago, there only lived the bacteria or microbes which inhabited the earth. And you need to understand there is a ratio of 4 is to 1 for human microbiome which outnumbers the body cells. Owing to their symbiotic relationship, the human organism and their vital role is maintaining the body tissues. Microbes have become indispensable for our survival. And people think that placenta and also mother womb is very much sterilized place, but you have to understand that placenta is a rich collection of bacteria which assist the healing process already in the organism of the fetus within the womb of the mother. White blood cells such as leukocytes and lymphocytes supports the microbial work. There is no word like infection. Infections are not transmitted to another person since the symptoms like discharge, inflammation, or fever are already the healing symptoms. Moreover, the DHS that activates the biological special program is highly individual conflict experience but not to the other person. Everything on this earth created by God or nature is decomposed and gives a new place to the other organisms to birth. You can observe the food chain here. I have taken the example of food chain because one after the another, the producers, primary consumers, eaten by secondary consumers, and they are eaten by tertiary consumers, and then the quaternary consumers. All these things are at last, after the death, are consumed by the decomposers and given to the earth by producing the nutrient material to the soil. In the same way, in our body also, when there is a necrotized area or which is unnecessary part of the body, the decomposers or the commensable bacteria which are living in our skin underneath the skin will be able to remove the unnecessary parts of the dead tissue and give space to the new cells to recover. The fungi and mycobacteria are the oldest microbes. When the conflict is resolved, they will be available in sufficient amount to remove the cells which are no longer required. Their function as a microsurgeon can give the beautiful results in removing the cancers in colon, lungs, kidney, liver, and breast, etc. This clearly shows that cancers are irreversible. The degree of microbial activity in the healing phase is determined by the intensity of the conflict activity phase. You need to understand the symptoms such as pus and discharge produced during the decomposing process are excreted through the exit points of the body like anus or urethra or ears or eyes, nose, nostrils, mouth, etc. through the form of urine, stools, sputum, discharges, etc. Throughout the repair phase, the capillaries break easily, thus, the discharge might be mixed with the blood. So, there is no need to panic about this thing because it is already in the healing phase. A symptom that always occurs when the fungi and TB bacteria are active night sweats. All the metabolic waste material is eliminated through the sweat glands in the skin. If the healing phase is more intense, the sweating could be excessive, that the night sweats are usually accompanied by the light fever. Now I would like to explain about the fourth case, Hiralal patient who is of 55 years old. He works in a police department suffering from a non-healing varicose ulcer since long period of time. He had a severe pain and offensive oozing, walking difficulty, so he have kept leave for his department for a long period of time. Moreover, his pain intenses so much that he used to feel that he is dying literally. He visited our clinic regularly. Sir allowed him to visit the clinic for every 2 to 3 days so he can observe the healing process. He, with faith, have returned every 2 days to the clinic. So he took the homeopathic remedy given by my sir and also advised given by sir. Dr. V.S. Reddy sir told Hiralal to keep the wound open, and also he told him explained him that there will be a lot of oozing material from that varicose ulcer, not only for seeing but also for experiencing the pain. Hiralal patient has literally have a strong faith in our treatment. You can clearly observe from the first pick to the last pick. So this is a stage where he has offensive smell, oozing, and demarcation of the area, scalding and brown color discoloration, and slowly there is a scaling and peeling off. And this is normally back to the skin. General symptoms of the venous ulcer. You can observe the skin changes like discoloration from red to brown and thick and leathery texture. There is a swelling in feet and also legs and severe burning or itching around the affected area. There is a leaking of the fluid and also formation of crusty scabs which is a foul smell and unbearable. He used to face the challenges in healing, slow healing, persistent for weeks and months without result of other treatments. But naturally healing approaches, proper cleansing and with the plain water, moisture management with the soft cloth, improved the circulation and reduced the swelling. Prevention and management. Regular leg elevation and exercise for the better flow. Avoiding wearing the tight cloth bandage, dressing or wearing the loose cloth exposed to air to prevent the restriction of the blood circulation, allowing the skin to breathe enough. What Dr. Hammer states in the German New Medicine. The psyche, the brain, and the corresponding organs are three levels of one unified organism that always work in a synchronicity. In first biological law, Dr. Hammer have stated there is an exception in burns, accidents, or in poisoning and also malnutrition. But clearly by this presentation, you can understand that we can treat burns or injuries or also wounds to certain extent with the natural healing because there is a conflict after the people are receiving the burns and which involves the skin. It means the separation conflict and which involves the healing process of by the blood. So that is a self-devaluation conflict. It also involves the muscles and also bones. Everything is involved with the layers of epidermis and also the mesoderm layer. So it involves the self-devaluation conflicts and separation conflicts. You need to remove the DHS which is instantly formed during the injury or burn. So in the layer of ectoderm, the healing or microsurgeons or viruses. In the layer of mesoderm, bacteria and also TB bacteria. In the layer of endoderm, mycobacteria, example TB bacteria and also fungi. There is a little example of germ layers and brain related functions. The endoderm germ layer, which has the organs like lungs, alimentary canal, and uterus and prostate for the reproduction. Conflicts that are faced are death, fright conflict, and morsel conflicts and procreation conflicts. During the conflict active phase, there is a cell proliferation, and during the healing phase, cells that are no longer required are removed with the help of the fungi and tubercular bacteria. In the mesoderm layer, there is a differentiation of old mesoderm and new mesoderm. The organs that are involved in the mesoderm layer are corium, skin, pleura, peritoneum, and pericardium, and the striated muscles, bones, tendons, ligaments, connective tissue, and the lymphatic system and the blood vessels. The conflicts faced in the mesoderm layer are attack conflicts and self-devaluation conflicts. There is a cell proliferation in the old mesoderm layer where the cell removal is occurred by the help of fungi and bacteria. And in the new mesoderm, there is a cell loss known as a necrosis. And there is a cell restoration and the help of fungi and bacteria. New formation of cells are formed. At last, the ectoderm. There is an evolution theory known as formation from the single cell organism to the multiple cell organism. So ectoderm is fully formed in the human beings and the cerebral cortex is little uh, less for the primitive organisms. Organs that are involved in the ectoderm are bile ducts, pancreatic ducts, milk ducts, and also linings of the cervix, bronchial tubes, and also heart and vessels. So there are the separation conflicts like sexual conflicts and territorial conflicts. There is a cell loss or known as ulceration in the conflict active phase of the ectodermal involvement of organs. And during the healing phase, there is a cell restoration with the help of the microsurgeons. When you give the strong counseling to the patients with the help of German new medicine theory and the truths and facts of the Dr. Hammond, their body will be releasing dopamine and serotonin, which helps feelings of goodness, pleasure, and motivation and inspiration, and also contributes for the well-being of health, happiness, and helps the sleep cycle and also digestive system for regulation, which affected by the exercise and also light pressure. With the increase of the GABA neurotransmitter, it is also known as calming transmitter. So this calming neurotransmitter will calm down the nerves in the central nervous system, and due to the no counseling or due to the no therapy of German new medicine, the levels of GABA will be decreased and the patient will go to the anxiety. So this is the main thing in the German new medicine theory counselation. Also, it contributes the motor control and also the vision. This is the last case. It is known as post-surgical case of a plantar con of patient Vishnu. He is 38 years old male. He has the symptoms of pain and offensive smell of oozing. He is in the driving field, which he couldn't perform due to the highly offensive smell and also oozing. What happened to is he went to the surgery for the con and the healing did not take place properly and opening is continuous and there is offensive unbearable smell due to which he felt low and also self-devaluated and could not drive easily. He funnily explained about his incident where he started sitting in the truck in the front door where a fly entered in his coach and due to that smell that fly had disturbed him for an hour journey. From then he had thought of visiting Dr. V.S. Reddy sir for the treatment. He had also faced the pain without walking. He stopped for a long period of time due to this, and after healing by Dr. V.S. Reddy sir, he had been again started his journey and feeling happy. As I explained you in a picture about the endodermal tissue, old mesodermal tissue, ectodermal tissue, and new mesodermal tissue. The endodermal tissue, where their additional cells are no longer required or removed, and in the old mesodermal tissue, the cells are no longer required or removed with the help of the fungi and bacteria. In the new mesodermal tissue and the ectodermal tissue, where there is a cell loss or necrosis or ulceration, is being restored with the help of the bacteria. All the tissues show the biological purpose at the end of the healing. After the healing process has been completed, the organ or tissue is stronger than before, which allows being better prepared for a conflict of the same kind. The other therapy treatments, other schools of therapy during the healing phase, they prescribe antibiotics and so-called ointments to prevent the infection. But here, we consider bacteria to heal, and we in fact encourage the bacteria to culture, and indeed, they do the job of healing and the injured wounded tissues, which is exactly stated in the fourth biological law of German New Medicine. The decomposers are always playing a vital role in the ecosystem by breaking down the dead organisms and also dead tissues, recycling for nutrients, which helps keep the circle of life in the motion. They act as environment cleaners. They create the space for new life by recycling the nutrients. Here you'll observe a little symptoms in the healing phase or the post-conflictualizes phase. The lasting vagotonia have warm face, a prolonged state of rest, fatigue, good appetite, and slow pulse, low blood pressure. Blood vessels expand, causing the warm hands and warm skin. The psyche is always in the state of relief, resting, and desire to eat more, the organism with necessary energy for healing. There are few more examples of the patients in our clinic. So she's a small kid which she has faced the burn due to the hot milk, and this girl have been faced the burns due to the sudden hot water bath, and this male patient have been exposed to the burns when he is burning the scrap in front of his house, and she is the last patient.
Nobody came along.
This is a case of cooking Maggie. The hot water have been fallen on her face and also the thoracic region. What are the benefits of natural healing? It reduces the dependency on the synthetic products and encourages the understanding of the body's natural defense mechanism. You can avoid the potential irritation or delay caused by the frequent dressing changes. You have to have the trust in nature and its innate ability and innovation of the body's healing mechanism. You can be avoided by the harmful and side effects of unnecessary surgical procedures, chemicals, and further complications. That's why it is not without a reason that the Spanish call the new medicine La Medicina Sagrada or the sacred medicine. Dr. Hammer states we have to resolve our conflicts twice, first in real terms and then in spiritually. Learning GNM not only allows us to become aware of individual conflicts as a cause of an ailment, it also puts us into the fortunate position to welcome free from fear. Injuries are not always destruction to our mind, they must become a strong belief to pathway of the future. Be brave enough to heal yourself. Summary of German New Medicine by Dr. Hammer's statements. All so-called diseases have a special biological meaning which, while we used to regard Mother Nature as fallible and had audacity to believe that she constantly made mistakes and caused breakdowns like malignant, senseless, degenerative cancerous growths, etc., we can now see as the scales fall from our eyes that it is our ignorance and pride that were and are only foolishness in our cosmos. Blinded, we brought upon ourselves this senseless and soulless and brutal medicine. Full of wonder, we can now understand for the first time that nature is orderly and that every occurrence in the nature is meaningful. Even in the framework of whole, nothing in nature is meaningless and malignant. Conclusion is nature has equipped both humans and animals with remarkable self healing abilities. Understanding leveraging these processes can reduce the reliance on synthetic or cosmetic treatments, unnecessary exposure to the harmful chemicals.
I would like to thank my family for having strong belief in me and being the supporters and giving strength to my meaningful life. My sincere gratitude towards my clinic world who have built up my emotional and also my professional life. Thank you one and all.